keys don't open new doors. Before we get going, if you needed the recording from Juanita, did you get the recording from night one? I put them in both emails. Are you getting those emails?
I have not.
Okay, so I got to make sure, is everybody else getting the emails that I'm sending out? Yes, I'm seeing some head nods. I'm seeing, let me know in the chats if you're getting those emails. Juanita, I may have to forward that to you. Personally, you need it, Corey? Okay, Corey, I'll make sure I add you to that email list. So I'll get that to you, Juanita, because what I'm doing is I'm just stacking them. So at the end of all of this, you'll have all 5 days in an email. So I want to honor you. Before we get going, give yourselves a round of applause. You ladies have been here every night. That's right, Tosh. You guys have been here every night. You guys are engaging in your healing, and I am so, so very proud of you. So I'm going to pull up my PowerPoint, and we are going to get into these 8 keys of restoration. Make sure you are writing notes. Make sure that you are engaged. If you need to go get you some water, do what you need to do to take care of yourself in this space. It is going to be very good. All right, okay, there we go. Let me share my screen. Oh, we got some people in the waiting room. Let's admit everybody. All right. Here we go. Oops, I don't want to do that. I just want to present this. Okay. Can you guys see that? Okay, I don't want to do that. So this may just have to be like this. Can you guys see my screen? Okay. There we go. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna get it. One thing about me is I'm gonna get it together. I'm going to get it together. Okay. I just got off a live and they were talking about living an unarmored life. I need somebody to hear this right now. Living an unarmored life, the way that we live unarmored is we don't worry about being perfect. Look at my PowerPoint. I got the big R and the little r. So however I did that, but I'm not worried about that because I know that I'm on assignment and I know that there's something that I'm supposed to do tonight. Some of us can't get to the next level that God wants to take us. Our next level of restoration, our next level of healing is because we're too worried about being perfect. Being able to be imperfect, that's what people respect that more, and people are willing to purchase your stuff. Their guys are willing to date you. People want to deal with people that are willing to be a little bit vulnerable. So, and to be open and not be perfect. So, okay, let me get it together. Let me get it together. So the 8 keys of restoration, here we go. Okay, so the first key, and I want you ladies to be writing these down and really dig in. And I want you to be circling as we go through it, circle the one that like hits for you, that you're like, oh, I needed that key. That's the key that I need to open up this next door. So the first key is your thinking. I said this several times over and over the couple of days that we've been together. Your mind is the soil by which everything grows. So remember, I talked about the seeds. I talked about the roots. I talked about all those things. It all starts with your thinking. And most importantly is how you think about yourself. Many of us think our way out of situations. We think our way out of happiness. We think our way out of blessings. We think our way out of good relationships, right? My daughter, my 18-year-old daughter, she told me that, she's in this friendship with this young man. I'm gonna call it a friendship, right? I'm gonna call it a thing, and it's gonna be a friendship right now. Okay. So she's in this friendship with this guy. And before they even met, she's already like, I don't know. And I'm like, why are you thinking your way out of happiness? What does that say about you? Does that mean that you're not truly, feel like that you deserve it? The reason why we most often think our way out of things is because we don't feel that we are valuable enough to receive it. Has your healing process stopped or slowed because you're so worried about what other people think about you, or you're too busy thinking yourself out of things? There's a scripture in the Bible that says, as a man or woman thinketh in their heart, so are they. So I want you to just take a minute right now in your journal, in your notebook, on your piece of paper. And I want to ask a couple of women to unmute their mic and tell me, what do you think God, your creator, whatever your spiritual belief is, what do you think your spiritual, your higher power thinks about you? Because my kids, I think that they're amazing. And I believe I said this the first night. I think that they are absolutely incredible, that they are one of the best gifts that I've ever gotten. But if they don't think that, and they're 50% of me, right? I got to get a daddy some credit. They 50% of their daddy too. But if they don't think that they're worthy, if they don't think that they're valuable, how do you think that makes me feel as a person that created them? I created them. How do you think God feels when you have these negative thought patterns? So I want us to be open and be vulnerable. What do you guys think God thinks about you when he thinks of you? Who wants to open up their mic and share? And remember, you can't heal what you hide. So if you give me the cute answer, if you give me the answer you think I want to hear, that's not gonna, that ain't gonna help nobody. So who wants to share? What you think God thinks about you?
I'll share.
Okay, Miss Juanita, what you think?
I think God thinks that I'm amazing. Seriously. But sometimes it's probably a little, what's the word I want to say? I don't want to say annoyed. A little, I can't think of the word I want to say, because of sometimes the way I think about myself.
Frustrated, maybe?
Maybe frustrated. Like, come on, daughter, that's not who you are. But I really do think he thinks I'm amazing. And I think I'm amazing too.
Yes, thank you for that transparency. Let's see, should I pick somebody, or should I allow you guys to be brave and do it yourself? Give me one more person. What do you think God thinks about you?
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, me?
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Tosh.
Oh, I think my creator thinks that I am worthy of this life.
Mm.
Mhm.
You are
And I am
worthy.
amazing. I am amazing too. I'm pretty bummed.
Okay, call a thing a thing, right?
Call it
Yes.
anything.
Yes, so we have to truly believe that. If we believe that our creator, there's a scripture in the Bible says that God literally sees us as the apple of his eye. Like when he looks at us, he is like in awe. He knows every strand on our head. And again, I don't care what your spiritual beliefs are, you have to believe that somebody believes this about you. And then it'll help you for you to start thinking about you. Hey, babe, for you to start believing yourself, that you're thinking about yourself this way. So let's get deeper into this thinking. So one of my clients, yes, Miss Ashley, when she first started working with me, she thought that she was anxious. She thought that she wasn't good enough. She kept attracting bad relationships. Are we going to be honest tonight? How many of you guys feel like you are attracting this, right? We attract who we are. So in relationships, I don't only mean romantic relationships. It may be the relationship with your coworkers. It may be relationships with your boss. It may be relationships with friends or family members. She kept attracting this trash, and I had to be completely honest and transparent with her because that's the type of coach I am. And I said, well, why are you behaving like a trash can? People don't put trash and don't give trash to just anybody. They only give trash to people that are willing and open to accept that trash. So she began to change her thinking so radically. And so, I mean, like it blew my mind. By the end of our sessions together, Ashley opened up her own boutique. And now she has a brick and mortar. So she had the online thing, but now she has a brick and mortar where she has like a whole shop because she was able to identify how her thinking was causing all this stuff to come to play. I am telling you, ladies, we are powerful. We are creators. We are divine. We have the ability to co-create with our creator the life that we want. But it all starts with your thinking. If you can't get past, I'm not good enough, why did this happen to me? Oh, woe is me. I want all of us to really stop saying why and heal. So every time something happens to us, instead of us saying, oh, why is this happening to me? Say, Lord, heal me. Heal this area, not why, heal. And I promise you, amazing things happen. Key number 2, I might lose y'all, some of y'all right now, but I ain't cared. I ain't scared of y'all. I ain't scared of y'all. I come for your healing. I come for your restoration. Key number 2 is your tongue. Before you open up your mouth and say anything, I want you to ask yourself these questions. Is it truthful? Is it responsible? Is it respectable? And does it represent the version of me that I want to be? Is it truthful? How many of us, I mean, come on, we tell these little white lies, black lies. I don't want to even call them, we have these little lies that we tell about ourselves. We have these little things that we say, and that doesn't lead us to restoration. We're not 100% being responsible. We're not responsible with our time. We're not responsible with our energy. We're not responsible with how we interact with people. And sometimes, to be completely honest, we're not that respectable. And really, it's with ourselves. I need somebody to write this down. I can't give other people what I haven't given myself. And does it represent the version of me that I want to be? My dad used to always tell me that time waits for no man. Tomorrow is going to pass. And are we going to say, was I the person that I wanted to be yesterday, today? Was I the person that I want to be 5 years from now, today? Sometimes I don't like when people say, fake it till you make it. I believe we faith it till we make it. So we have faith in the person that we want to be. We have faith. So sometimes that means that we have to be sit in that version, be that woman that we want to be. I remember when years ago, maybe about 10, 15 years ago, I wanted a job at the county. I just knew if I got a job at the county, my whole life would be different. I would have this government job and I would be just this person that I thought I wanted to be. So what did I do? In order to be that person, I had to do things to start to be that version of myself. So I went to, y'all may laugh at me, but I went to the thrift store and I got me some county looking pants and some county looking shoes and a county looking shirt before I even went on the interview. Because I knew that faith without works is dead. And I know I had to think it that I was going to get this job. And then I had to be that version of it. In order for me to get that job, ask me if I got the job. Oh, I got the job. I got the job, right? Because I faked it till I made it. Oh, this is so good. Allow your words to hit your wisdom teeth before they come out of your mouth. Are you using wisdom? The things that we are we just having, like my grandpa used to say, diarrhea of the mouth? Or are we allowing words to hit our wisdom teeth first? I don't know who this is for, but oftentimes the loudest one in the room is also the most unhealed. We don't have to say everything. We don't have to be the one that's at the center of attention. We don't have to be the one that's getting. Why are we looking for validation for people that ain't even valid? Uh-oh. The loudest person in the room is looking for validation because they can't validate themselves. They don't believe in their value. But a restored woman is able to sit back and listen. I'm loud. I get the party cracking, okay? But I'm able to sit back, observe, and I don't have to have all the attention on me. You don't have to say everything you feel, ladies. That's what this is for. That's what this pen and paper is for. There is, especially in relationships, for my single ladies, process it here first before you allow it to come out your mouth. Every time I have to have a difficult conversation with my husband, I say, Lord, season my words with salt. Let it be flavorful to his ears. That's wisdom. It is okay to process stuff before it comes out of your mouth. Key number 3 is your tribe. You are the sum total, sum meaning equal, of the 5 people that you spend your time with. So I need you to take inventory of your tribe. Are these people energy drainers? Or are they energy givers? And remember that your tribe consists of people, places, and things. So are you constantly going to a place that drains you? Are you just going to that church because your grandma went to it, your mama went to it, your aunties and your uncles, but you ain't getting nothing out of it? And it drains you, you always leave empty? Are you entertaining people that just take, and there's no reciprocity? How many of you guys know that you can turn on certain apps on your phone, and as soon as you turn on that app, it's like your phone just goes, it sucks out all the battery on your phone. But some of us continue to stay around circles and people that do that to us. Instead of finding somewhere to plug up to that adds value. Make sure this week, one thing that people do that are walking in restoration is they're givers. I told someone earlier today, maybe I just said it on the right now on the recording, I've given my way out of poverty. I've given my way. I gave people love that didn't deserve it. I want you to, those people that are energy givers, show them appreciation this week. Send a text. So this is homework. We're getting into the homework already. Send a text. Write an email. Tag them in a post and just tell them, I appreciate you. Because some of you are sitting here feeling dry and feeling like there's nobody that appreciates you. But when's the last time, sis, that you've showed appreciation? Key number 4 is temple care. We have to take care of our home. Our home, this is our home, where we live. We have to take care of our temple. Okay, so there's going to be many principles to temple care. So I need you guys to lean in and rock with me for a minute. So temple care, it starts with your mind. When your mind is healed, your body will follow. Just put a 2 in the chat if you're like, oh my God, I'm always having stomach aches. I'm always having headaches. I'm always having these, I'm tired all the time. I can't sleep at night. All these things are happening. When you begin to walk in your healing, your body naturally follows. I used to have crazy migraines. I used to have ever since I was a little girl, my stomach was always in knots. Write this down. There is a book called The Body Keeps Score. Your body will tell you when you're not healed. Your body will tell you when you're not restored. You will feel it in your body. Some of us are carrying all this extra weight. We've put on these suits, these body suits, because we're healing we're hiding what we haven't healed. It's the truth, ladies. So when we start with our mind and we start to do some gardening in our mind, our body naturally follows. Let me get to here. Hold on one second. Okay. What are you putting in your mind? What's the last book you've read or listened on audio? I gotta do them on audio book because I'm always in the go. How often do you move your body? We gotta get up and we gotta get our body moving because this is your temple. As far as I know, we only get one. I don't know nobody that ever died and came back to life and they live in another life. So as far as I know, we get one shot at this thing. So why not take care of this body, this temple that we live in? Limit your screen time, ladies. The amount of time that we are consuming. We talked about this last night. We're gonna move from consumers to producers. You can't produce anything if you're constantly consuming. So I want you to really start taking inventory. How many of you guys did what I asked you to do and you looked at your screen time on your phone and you saw how much time you're spending on social media? You saw how much time you're using doing reckless stuff. We have to make sure that we limit I have not watched the news. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I started watching the news in 2020 again because fear, false evidence appearing real, got your girl. And I was like, what they talking about with this coronavirus? What is that, right? So I needed to know what was going on in the world. So I began to watch the news. But previously to that, I did not watch the news for 7 years. I limit what I put into my subconscious. Me and Nikki, I believe she's on, and we were talking about this in a podcast interview that's going to be coming out in January. I realized that there's certain things that are triggers. What are triggers? Somebody put in the chat, what is a trigger? A trigger is let me see, I'm gonna wait for it. Rosalind did, she said 4.6 hours. That's really good. Really good, Rosalind. A familiar spirit. It is a response to a familiar spirit. So I realized that I was triggered by, I used to watch this show, Intervention. And it's about, when people that are on drugs and their family tries to get them together and do, this intervention. Seemingly a good show, but for someone that has this in their DNA, how many of you guys know that we can pass on stuff in our DNA?
Right.
Which is why we're walking through this healing, which is why we're getting this restoration, because we don't want to give our children more trauma, give our children fear, give our children low self-esteem, give our children these things. So because I had that, let me correct myself, trapped in my DNA, I had to limit the things that I consumed. So I want you to really start taking inventory. How do I feel after I watch this? Does my body shut down and I just all of a sudden get tired? I get a headache. I feel nauseous. We are co-creators. We can create the life that we want. So why don't we start doing something? Why don't we start bossing up and act like we could do that? Our body. Uh-oh, let me go back. How much water are you drinking, ladies? Y'all didn't think I was going to talk about your health and wellness. I see you, Chanel. I see your whole little crew. Y'all doing your thing. I see it, right? How much water are you drinking? We should be consuming half of our body weight in water. And this is just real talk, you guys. I cannot talk to you guys about the spiritual and the physical, I mean the mental, if I don't talk about the physical. I would be doing you a disservice. We are mind, body, and soul. When's the last time you bought yourself a new bra? What? When's the last time you took care of you and you said, I deserve it? And you went on over to Victoria and asked her the secrets. And you went and got you a $70 or $80 bra because you deserve it. When we get off tonight, I want everybody to check their perfume counter. Because what we put on ourselves comes out. How do you expect to feel like a healed woman, a restored woman, and you keep no shade, no shame? I mean, some of us are in spaces, and I've been there where I couldn't afford it and I just wanted to smell good. But a restored woman understands that she deserves it. And so we're not buying body sprays from Walmart or Target or CVS. Because what we put on is going to come out. Now, this is no shade or no shame because I've been in those spaces, but I want you to know that you have to start believing that you are worthy of it. There is a company called Scentbird. You can get little bottles of perfume for $15 a month that are like real quality perfume. Why? Because you deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve to have nice things. You deserve to smell good. You deserve when you walk in a room for people to be like, oh, what are you wearing, girl? What's that? You deserve for your sisters, for your girls to be sitting up nice and tall and be firm. We deserve those things. Did you know that drinking water half your body weight is recommended? Here's why. It lubricates our joints. It delivers oxygen all throughout our body. It boosts our skin health. It regulates our body temperature. Where my anemic sisters at that are always cold, that are always, their feet is always cold. They're always feeling like they can't get warm. It aids in our body loss. This is what we have to, there are practical things to restoration. There are practical things to get to the other side of healing. I see you, Danielle. Listen, I understand, sis. Okay, so we're going to skip past this, the perfume count. This is what I really want us to talk about is rest. Restored women understand that they deserve rest. As Black and brown women, we have been tricked to believe that resting equals laziness. Who's ever heard that? Who's ever heard that? Who's ever had somebody tell them, these are conversations that we heard when we was a little girl, when we were a teenager. Girl, get up. What you tired for? You don't work. You don't, I'll give you, oh, you tired? Get in there and clean them dishes, right? And these are things that we tell our kids. And then we wonder why they're unable to rest. We wonder why they're restless at night. That is a lie. You can't walk into restoration if you can't rest. God says he will give rest to those he loves. And y'all said he thinks you amazing. He loves you. So why wouldn't he allow you to rest? Here are some practical ways for us to rest. Put your phone in another room. The thing we do when we wake up in the middle of the night, right? Because the phone is right on our bedside, we start doing this. We scrolling, and then we wonder why we can't get back to sleep. Go to sleep with scriptures or instrumental music, jazz, something, light that soothes your breath, because our subconscious is listening. Our subconscious is waiting to be calmed. Don't watch the news or anything stimulating before bed. I want to take a little break before we go into, but let me finish this key. But I feel in my spirit that someone has a question and they're like, I don't want to forget this question. So let me get through key number 4, and then I'm going to take a small break to answer questions. So there is a big difference between self-care and soul care. Although I love self-care, restored women, we practice soul care. This is how we walk into soul care. We spend our first 15 minutes in prayer and meditation. We sitting still. We are listening to God. For those of you that are like, meditation, what? Prayer is talking to God. Meditation is listening to what God has to say. You got to do both. You can't do all the talking. That's why some of our prayers are not being answered, is because we're so busy talking. We're not sitting and we're not listening. We're journaling. We're journaling what we're grateful for. We're journaling those non-negotiables. This is soul care. And then we are connecting and we have community. Ladies, they have lied to us saying, me, myself, and I, that's all I got in the end. That's what I found out. No. We need community. We need connection. We don't do life alone. So who are you connected to on a soul level? Who are those people that your metaphorical baby leaps when you get on the phone with them? When you get in connection with them, something inside of you starts to feel better. Something inside of you starts to ignite, and you start to feel like, oh my gosh, this person gets me. We have to be in community with those people. And then we go back to key number 2, which is our tribe. And we remember, I said it last night, we don't cut people off. What do? We grow. They fall off. So we continue our healing process, our restoration process, and we grow. And those people that are energy drainers, they're going to eventually fall off. But what we definitely have to do is we have to make sure that we're walking in community with people. And this is a side note, make sure people want to be in community with you. We talking about everybody else around us, but it starts with us. Are you even anybody? Do you like you? All right, I'm gonna take a pause right there on that note. And I want to open it up for questions. Let's do 2 minutes. I really feel like there's somebody, and my spirit never lies to me. I feel like there's somebody that has a question or has a disagreement or whatever. And I want us to kind of get into this dialogue before we move into key number 5. Don't be scared. You could put in the chat if it's you, if you're like, to me, I got to answer this question, or I got to ask this question.
I have a comment for Rust.
Yes.
So I'm always very busy, usually working 2 jobs, full-time job, coffee shop on Saturdays. I was playing rugby, CrossFit, roller derby, going to school. I mean, my day was busy from 7 in the morning to about 10 or 11 at night. And so when it came to Rust, being pregnant really completely slowed my life down to the point where all I had to do was rest. All I can do right now is rest. And that was really hard because I felt lazy. I felt unmotivated. I felt like I wasn't doing enough. And emotionally, it was hard. Physically, it was hard. And I really had to slow down and realize that I'm creating a human, and I need to collect myself and prepare and plan, and realize that working so far away wasn't gonna work anymore. And I found a job closer to home, 10 minutes away from home, that offers childcare, that's making more money, that has better benefits. I mean, when I slowed down and focused on the blessing that God gave me, I was able to see more than when I was busy.
Yes, I love that, Lorraine. Thank you so much for sharing. And I just want to offer something to everyone. I want us, every time we have these thoughts of, I'm being lazy, I'm unmotivated, oh my God, I'm not good enough. Whatever these thoughts are, I want us to check and say, whose voice is that? Is that who told me that? Why do I feel that way? Because somewhere down our line, someone has planted that seed and someone has told us that. So we are listening to the voice of somebody else. And we have to do this practice that I teach my clients, which is cancel, clear, delete. So you have to say no. You know, back in the day when we needed to clear a computer, we would hit Control, Alt, Delete. I think you could still do that, right? And it wipes everything out. We have to be willing to hit Control, Alt, Delete on those thoughts, on those voices of other people that don't serve us. Because you're a walking miracle right now with a human being inside of you. And even with that, women are made to believe it does not matter. You don't have the grace or the space to sit in that moment and create. You are creating life. Like, that's huge. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm glad that you're getting your rest. And I hope that when your son gets here, you continue that practice so that he knows it's okay for him to rest. Somewhere down in our ancestral line, especially for people of color, that has been something that has been fed to us, that we're lazy. And if we're not doing all the things, we believe it. So sometimes we have to go back and we have to break that thing way back 5 generations ago, people that we didn't even know. I do this practice where I ask God, show me who in my line. And when I tell y'all, sometimes God shows me things and I'm like, whoa, I wasn't ready for that. But I have to break those things because my children won't spend, somebody write this down, your children will not spend their adult life recovering from their childhood. All right, that's so good. Let's move on to key number 5 is time. So time is that one key that always seems to get lost, right? Who's ever said, oh my God, I lost track of time. Oh, time, time always seems to get lost. I want to disrupt some of your thinking tonight and tell you that time cannot get lost because it doesn't need to be found. We find it in the things that we're doing that don't add value to our lives. We make time and people make time for things that they value. How much time have you spent on pointless things, pointless people, and pointless places? Now, listen, I'm a lover and I don't believe that anyone is pointless. I believe that everyone has some value, but I do believe that there's some energy drainers that just come and they suck up our time. And then we look up and an hour has gone on and you're still on the phone with that girlfriend that all she does is complain, but she doesn't want to do anything. One of the most pivotal things that happened in my life is when I was telling my sister over and over about my first husband, and he does this and he does that, and oh my God. And it was like this constant, like this broken record of me complaining about him. One day she said, I don't want to hear it anymore because you're just going to continue to do the same thing. That was the most powerful thing that she could have ever done for me, because I realized I was wasting time. You don't waste your time and don't allow others to waste your time. Here are some practical ways that we honor time. We limit our time on social media. Alarms are our friend. Can we talk about procrastination? We stop procrastinating. When we say that we're going to do something, remember I talked about setting boundaries with ourselves? Procrastination is you breaking the boundary with yourself when you know you have to do something. God honors movement. So we do it today, not tomorrow. If somebody can tell me where they can find one day on the calendar, I'll give you $100 right now. One day is nowhere on the calendar. You find Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but one day ain't nowhere on the calendar. So we're going to stop saying, oh, I'll do it one day. I'll do it one day. If you know that thing is in your heart to do it today. And guess what? Baby steps count. You don't have to run. You don't have to do it all. You could take a baby step. Sometimes it's just making the phone call. Sometimes it's just researching. But God honors movement. I talked to my ladies about the tsunami, and I don't have time to get into it right now. But a tsunami, or maybe I am going to talk about it. Tsunami starts with a small shift, something small that we do. When we set a goal we arrive on time, always showing up late. When we always show up late, and I know some of us are going to have to say, Tamika, I'm guilty. We're going to have to repent to ourselves and to others. But that person that's always late, they're showing other people in themselves that they don't honor time. We do not want to be that person. We do not want to be like that. Restored women don't operate that way. All right. Key number 6 is we are teachable. We have to be teachable. You don't know everything, and neither do I. And guess what? There's freedom in that. There's freedom in not knowing everything. If you are the smartest person in your circle, in your Fab Five, that's the problem. That means your circle is too small. It's time to grow and elevate and expand. Pay attention. You can learn from just about anything. I was talking on the live today. How many of you guys have ever, like when you buy a new car, you buy a new shirt or new purse, or you buy something new, then all of a sudden you start seeing that thing over and over, right? So it's like, dang, I never noticed this car before. I have a Chevy Traverse. I'd never seen Chevy Traverse, didn't even know that the car until I got it. Now I see it everywhere, right? That's what happens when we pay attention. When we become teachable and we become open to knowledge, we start seeing it everywhere. How many of you guys, since you started following me, now in your social media, all you see is posts about healing? You see all these posts about God. You see all these posts, and you're like, oh my God, that sounds like something that Tamika would say. That's because we open ourselves up to it. We become teachable to the new information. Restored women, one of the biggest keys to restoration is being teachable. This is something that I really had to work through. I used to operate, and this was a false sense of pride that God had to break me from. I thought I knew everything. And the moment I realized I don't know everything and I don't have to know everything, there was so much freedom attached to that. Key number 7 is to be thankful. We have to have, when I tell you divine gratitude, like it has to be something that you eat, sleep, and breathe. That has been the biggest secret to my healing and to my success. It's just showing gratitude. I want all of us, just for a moment, let me check our time. We have enough time. I want us to do this faith activation, and I want us to start from the top of our heads, and we're going to move down our body, and we are going to start giving. When is the last time? Some of you guys are about to feel so, if you start to cry, if you start to feel like, oh my God, let it flow. You have not shown yourself gratitude. You have not honored yourself. I teach my clients this thing called self-care, self-love baths, where we love on ourselves and we show ourselves gratitude. So I want us to start from the top of our head and begin to just thank our brain for the knowledge and the wisdom. I want us to thank our eyes for everything that we've seen in this earth, good and bad, because it has taught us something. I want us to thank our mouth for being able to articulate and speak and ask for the things that we need. I want us to thank our ears for being open and teachable to knowledge. I want us to thank our heart for the times that we thought that we were broken, but it has this superpower and it's able to heal itself. I want us to thank our belly. I don't care how big your belly is or how flat your belly is, if you got stretch marks, if you got perfect skin. We are incubators. Our womb carries things, and we need to thank our womb for bringing life. And it's not only, even if you've never had a child physically, we birth things. So we need to thank our womb. I need us to thank our legs. Go ahead and just move your hands down your legs and thank your legs for carrying you. And then say, however old you are, I thank my legs for carrying me for 41 years and not giving up on me. Even though my knees may hurt sometimes and they may crack, they stand and they hold me. And then I need us to thank our feet for standing. Your body is going to thank you, ladies. And I need you to really tonight, that's going to be part of your homework, is going in and just literally thanking your arms for the strength, thanking your hands, because whatever your hands touch, it's going to prosper. If you don't start doing this stuff, it cannot come to pass. We have the ability to manifest. We create. So being thankful produces change. It even helps you sleep. Those of you that are having issues and problems sleeping, before you go to bed, say 10 things that you're thankful for, from the smallest little thing. Look in your room and find I'm thankful for the ability to see. I'm thankful for that tree that gives my house shade. I'm thankful for my car. I'm thankful for running water. I'm thankful. We have to be thankful for the small things in order for God to give us the big things. Being thankful opens up more relationships. Here. And it also reduces PTSD. The last key, and we are right on time, we have about 5 minutes, is taking action. So we are going to get deeper into this tomorrow. And I already talked to you guys about the baby and the last time you've seen a baby walk. So I want you to know that it does not have to be massive movement. It just has to be movement. And then I also want you, give me 1 second, ladies. I'm gonna move over here so my computer doesn't die. I also want you to know that a flower that grows fast also dies fast. Some of us believe, and we're comparing ourselves to people because it looks like they're further ahead than us. It looks like they're doing more than us, right? So we have to recognize that we're going to grow at our own pace. So I do want to talk to you guys about the tsunami as soon as I get my light together. One thing about me is I ain't worried about being perfect. Listen, I'm going to give y'all this healing, this restoration. All right, here we go. Here we go. There we go. So a tsunami, I did a lot of research on a tsunami. One day I was coaching this lady and God told me her life is going to be like a tsunami. I know I could make this look a little bit better. And I began to say, well, what does that even mean? You know, what does a tsunami, what does that look like? And God began to show me that a tsunami is a small shift that happens at the very bottom of the ocean. How many of you guys feel like you're at the bottom? How many of you guys feel like I'm constantly at the bottom. I feel like I can never get to the top. Well, I'm here to offer you some hope and tell you that that's okay. Your position in life right now does not matter, because at the very bottom, there's going to be this shift, this small shift, but you have to be willing to make that shift. And when you make that shift, what it's going to do is it's going to cause this small wave. You registering for this 5-day challenge and being on here every single day, a small wave. And then that wave is going to catch on to another wave. And then that wave is going to catch on to another wave. And then before you know it, there's going to be things in your life that you have been dealing with forever that will be completely destroyed. A tsunami comes and knocks things off. It destroys things. Tasha, you sitting here and you thinking, I don't see it. You have invited more people to this challenge. That's your wave. And then you're healing this person, and then you're healing this person, and then you're adding to this person. But it takes that first shift. It takes you saying yes to you. Rosalind, it takes you saying, I may not know it all. The key that I need to focus on is being teachable. So I'm going to go ahead and be teachable, and that's going to be my shift. For some of you guys, it's taking that key of watching your tongue and what comes out your mouth. Because everybody that knows you say, oh, she don't mess with her. She gonna tell you like it is. But does that represent the version of you that you're trying to become? So I want us to start making those small shifts and honor those shifts, because those shifts catch on. And then it catches on. And then, Shakara, what do we have? We have the super bloom. We have the whole tsunami. We have the wave. But it does not happen. And things will not be destroyed in your life. And you will not be restored over everything if you don't allow the shift to happen. If you don't take the first step. If you're not willing to say, you know what, Tamika? I need this. I need to grab onto these keys, and I need to make a difference. Allow the shift to happen. That's right. So we're a little bit over time. Let me see. But I need to tell you guys these stories. So I want to start with Google. The creators of Google, nobody believed them when they took action. When they said, we're going to risk it all, and we're going to start this little startup and wherever they started the startup, and we're going to believe in ourselves, and we're going to take some new keys into new situations to open up bigger doors. Everyone said no to them. How many of you guys are like, I could do it if I had the support of this person, if I had the support of that person, if I know that this person would back me? What about if you just said, you know what, I'm a ride or die for me. I ain't waiting for nobody else to be my cheerleader. I'm a ride or die for me, because that's what Google did. And I don't think there's anybody on this planet that does not know Google today. But Google had to take the first action, and their action was believing in themselves. This is 18-year-old me in this picture right here. This is 18-year-old broken me with a newborn baby. But I took action. I started these practices. I started doing this stuff. That baby that's in my hand is now 23 years old. That girl right there, that little girl that was dealing with, she didn't even want to bathe him. I didn't even want to bathe my baby because I had not processed and worked through my own molestation. And I was worried that I was going to do to him what happened to me. But I took action. I need somebody to understand me. I invested my way out of bondage. I invested my way out of pain. I connected with people. I started to realize, Tamika, maybe it's not everybody else. because it's not my fault the things that happen to me. None of that is my fault. My responsibility is how I respond to those things. The life that was given to you, that's not your fault. What's your responsibility is how you play them cards. How you play what was dealt to you. When I took action, when I decided by any means necessary, if it causes me, I'm on my knees right now. How many of y'all know influencers that's gonna go get on their knees with you? How many of you guys know quote unquote influencers and these social media people that are willing to say by any means necessary, I'm gonna walk you through this restoration? That's what happens when in our community. See, I'm a part of your community now. You have somebody in your community, and those ladies that have been rocking with me for any bit of time, they know that this ain't lip service. They know that this is what I live. If they calling me at 2 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock, now I got boundaries, don't get it twisted. But I'm here for you in this journey because I understand that sometimes I may be the one that causes the shift in you. And I want you guys, if you could find those little emojis with the celebration hats, let's celebrate ourselves for a minute because all of you guys have taken action. Let's put that celebration. Let's blow up this chat. Let's blow. Yeah, that's right. I am the bridge over troubled water. Let's celebrate ourselves for this shift. Let's celebrate ourselves for taking action. Let's celebrate ourselves that on a Wednesday night, you said, I'm a listen and I'm gonna deal with Tamika with all the technical issues and with her being on her knees, and y'all done see my whole kitchen now. We celebrating ourselves because this will be the shift. I need you guys to put in the chat, restored over everything. This is what it looks like. Restored over everything. It's not the pretty Instagram pictures. That's not restoration. It's not the cute car. It's not the new bag. It's not the red bottoms. This is restoration. Restored over everything. Let me stop yelling at y'all. I tend to do that because I feel this thing. You got this, ladies. Old keys can't open new doors. So your ticket out the door, the way we're going to end tonight is I want you to put in the chat, key 1 through 8, what key are you going to take and that you are going to start opening up some new doors so you can walk in true restoration. So just in the chat, I need you to put your key. What key do you know that you need to start using? Time, key number 8. Key number 1. What was key number 1? Key number 1 was your thinking. Your thinking. Being thankful. Being thankful, yes. Yes. Health, yes. Your temple care, right, sis? Jessica, your temple care. Key number 4, key number 1. This is so good, ladies. So good. This is that shift. This is that shift. So your homework tonight, on top of the things that I've already assigned you to do, but the major homework, I'm going to post something on Instagram. And those of you that don't use Instagram, I'll also post it on Facebook. I'm going to post something. I'm going to post a meme or a picture, and the key word is going to be, well, I'm just going to write in there, restored over everything. So you guys will know what it means. That's going to be the caption. And I want you to tag the person that you are grateful for. We're going to all use the gratitude key tonight. And I want you just to tag them and say, I am so grateful for you. The image is going to be cute. It's going to be nice. And all you have to do is tag them and say, I am grateful. And I am going to write all you guys' name down, and then that will be the winner of that. Will tomorrow we leveling up, because tomorrow is Thursday night. We're in day 4, and those of you that are still rocking with me, that lets me know that you're really ready to be restored over everything. You're going to not only get the journals and the pen and the lotion bar, but you're also going to get $100 gas card. So I'm going to post the picture, and all you have to do is tag your girlfriend, tag your friend, and say, I am thankful for, maybe it's your husband, maybe it's your mom, maybe it's your sister, but we're going to use that gratitude key tonight, that thankful key tonight, because gratitude, being thankful, literally has been my biggest success. That's the reason that I know that I'm here. And it starts with being grateful to God, right? I'm constantly grateful for God, for the good, the bad, and the ugly. All right, ladies, let's do 2 minutes. I'll open up the floor if anybody wants to ask a question. I have 2 minutes. Oh, the other thing I'm going to do is everybody tonight. So I'm going to make sure I get you on there, Juanita. I'm going to send you my ebook, The 8 Keys to Restoration. So I have a whole ebook where there's like journal prompts and different things that goes along with it. So I'm going to send that to everybody tonight as a thank you for you attending tonight. All right. You welcome, Shakar. Yeah, so you're going to tag Tamika.m.Thomas on IG. And then on Instagram, it is just Tamika Thomas. I mean, on Facebook, it's Tamika Thomas. So I'm going to post both places. You welcome, ladies. Look at y'all. Y'all already using the key. That was a test. That was a test. That was a test. And some of y'all caught it. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. You are so welcome, Hannah. You are so very welcome. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for rocking with me tonight. Let me stop sharing. You welcome, Corey. So as we end every night, and we only went 9 minutes over. 9 minutes over. That was good. Lord, we just thank you, God. All thanks and honor goes to you. The number one prayer that I have used to get me to the place that I am now is thank you. So we're not going to use a lot of fancy words. We just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. I love y'all, ladies. Y'all giving me life out here. Thank you so much. All right, ladies, I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be back at 6 a.m. Thank you guys for being patient with me tonight and doing that 6:30, giving me that grace period. I love you to life. Make sure that you're putting your phones away tonight. Let's challenge ourselves. In order to get something different, you have to do something different. So let's challenge ourselves tonight. Let's get out of our comfort zone. Let's pick up one of these keys that we learned and really use them to open up a new door. All right, ladies, I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 6 p.m., Shakara, that's right.
Good night.
Okay.
Good night. Good night. Bye-bye. Christine, I'm so proud of you, sis.